Industry expectations point towards a launch window in 2024 or 2025, further heightening the anticipation for what is poised to be a groundbreaking addition to the Grand Theft Auto legacy. Recording in progress as normal. Our cameras suck. We kept our cameras from 1999 and we're still using them. So it's working good. I concur. Audio good, all good. So welcome to the Reel2Code Show. We don't need to introduce anymore. We're just going to get straight into it. Okay, let's play. Yes. So what we're going to do is go over some videos today, get a little bit more specific on what is happening. And what is happening that's really been all over the news. Lots of madness going on with this game. It's GTA 6. I'm going to restart this. We're going to watch it because I appreciate our YouTuber friend or content creator friend that has created this very unique short and giving us update on GTA 6, and then we're going to go from there.
Did you know that after Grand Theft Auto 6 leaked, the CEO said that it affected him and his team on a personal level? So here are the top 5 leaks you need to know, and the last one is insane. Number 1, once it's released, the game will have been in development for over 10 years, having costed over $2 billion to create. Number 2, the game's map will be 2 to 3 times bigger than the one in GTA V, which will evolve over time, with buildings being constructed and even new cities like San Andreas being added. Number 3, during gameplay, large-scale destruction events such as tornadoes and hurricanes will occur, which will affect the game's world. Number 4, the main area of the map will be in Miami, Florida, with playable characters that take inspiration from Bonnie and Clyde. During the story, there'll be flashbacks to an island in Cuba. Number 5, when you're wanted in the game, it'll be more realistic, with police taking their time to arrive, surrounding the area instead of rushing in, and giving you time to surrender before attempting to shoot. And on top of all of this, they'll be adding a 6th wanted level, which includes helicopters, tanks, and even jets that fly from their home. Did you know that after Grand Theft Auto 6 leaked...
Well, I like that.
So basically, according to our friend here, and I kind of wanted to go through and check these things off one at a time. So I haven't really done any research or anything on it. I just saw this video. I don't know when he dropped this video out, but it's not too long ago. And it's a pretty brand new channel, actually. And this video has blown the fuck up. And I know like some of his other videos are not as intense as this one as far as the amount of views and going viral technically, but this really shows where the interest is at as well. Everyone's really looking forward to GTA 6, and because they kept it a secret on what is really happening, I mean, I don't know what is really fact here and what is not. So I wanted to dive in one, point at a time that he's making and then just kind of go from there. This is exciting. So the first one, he's saying that, what did he say?
The CEO said that it affected him and his team on a personal level. So here are the top 5 leaks you need to know, and the last one is insane. Number 1.
And I really like his shorts, the way he's created it. Obviously, the last one is insane, so you want to keep watching to go to the, to the last one. There's one thing I really appreciate about doing all this stuff too is learning about content creation in short form, because even when you're creating movies, in an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever, if you don't really know who your audience is and you're just creating 2 hours for you don't know who it is, you're gonna have a problem selling that.
Well, keeping attention, and it's gotta be the right pace. It's gotta be keep people interested all the way through. The new Hunger Games thing they're saying was paced too fast. It just went too fast. So I don't know, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I mean, that's the same, creating content. You've got to keep their attention.
Yeah, it's all, the whole game is about attention and understanding where, and I'm just kind of trickling away a little bit here, kind of separate topic. We'll go back to GTA, but he's doing a really good job at keeping attention, and also just the way he's created this videos. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to kind of, obviously there are other places that are pointing out facts, and some of them are similar facts to what he's mentioning, but these are good things to learn from, and as a growing channel, similarly here, 181 subscribers now. I appreciate every single one of you. 181.
Absolutely.
I know some of you are here because of the Matthew Perry clip, but technically speaking, we're all talking about stories and characters, and it's all kind of relative and, connect. So if you saw that or you're watching this, you're like, what is going on? We're sticking to the same core of characters and stories and providing news around that. So, and obviously do want to stick to what's trending and what's hot and kind of keep talking about those things. Otherwise, we're just two guys that are talking to ourselves and no one's going to care, technically.
True.
So, with all that said, the leaks have been, I don't know if this is true or not, something we got to look up. I don't know where he got this info, that because of the leaks now that the CEO of, I don't think it was Rockstar. Was it Rockstar? I think he might be Take-Two. I forget who's that CEO, but he's actually really one of those guys that I think should start running Hollywood. Give him Hollywood. Let him take control. The amount of focus they have on characters and storytelling is insane.
Once it's released, the game will have been in development for over 10
go back actually real quick because I wanted to see.
Did you know that after Grand Theft Auto 6 leaked, the CEO said that it affected him and his team on a personal level?
Yeah, that was Take-Two, the Take-Two guy. I forget his name. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But that is
Zelnick, I believe, is his last name.
I believe so, yes. Sounds familiar. But would like to know where he got that info from and why, it affected them like that. Obviously, I don't know how it would leak. The leaking it's just strange to me. I mean, people sign the most intense NDAs with these games. If you go and leak anything, not only is your career over in general, I mean, it's going to be very tough for you to work with anybody else after that. But then who would know these details?
That's the thing. Yeah, it's got to be somebody on the inside. I mean, it's like at Apple when they leak stuff, they're going to track down who it was and fire them. So
it has to be somebody who's really close in the bubble. If I go and show a lot of the Q&As that are with RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2, performance capture artists, if I really go through those, they didn't even know what the heck was going on for the longest time. They were kept in a really tight little bubble in their own world that they're like, what are we doing here? I don't even know what the story is. So the fact that something has leaked this significantly is a little weird to me. I don't know if it's leaked, it's purposefully thrown out there. So just something to consider and think about, because I would love to know where the source is. So something I want to dive in here. This is crazy.
Yeah, true. And there are times that a lot of leaks are done by the company themselves just to build, momentum before a release or something.
I think so. I mean, let's see here. Like 3 days ago, High Tech, GTA leak, Rockstar reportedly scraps big feature from Grand Theft Auto 6. This is November 21st, 2023. Okay, extreme weather. So he's picking from that. Okay, well, we can go over this real quick, I guess, and just kind of compare some of this to what he's saying.
We're going to talk about the GTA 6 leak. Rockstar reportedly scraps big feature from Grand Theft Auto 6. GTA 6 initially reported to feature extreme weather dynamics such as hurricanes and tornadoes capable of real-time destruction. But it won't be the case anymore. Know why? Okay, so gamers are eagerly awaiting the release of the first ever trailer of the Grand Theft Auto game, ubiquitously known as GTA 6. The game is predicted to offer generational leap into gaming, and considering how Rockstar's last game, Red Dead Redemption 2, fared, these are not entirely wild claims to make. Of course not. Through various leaks, we've already know that the game is expected to be set in Vice City, Rockstar's fictional take on the city of Miami. Interestingly, it won't be the first game with Vice City as the open world, as 2002's GTA Vice City also featured the same. However, video game technology has grown by leaps and bounds since then, and GTA 6 Vice City could be the best ever open world. However, Rockstar has apparently scrapped one big feature that would have taken GTA 6 gameplay to the next level: extreme weather. On a side note, that was what I was looking forward to with GTA 6 when he mentioned it having extreme weather, because that reminds me of Sims, or SimCity to be specific, because in SimCity you have random extreme weather just messing up your whole damn city whenever you least expect it. So the extreme weather in GTA, huh?
Interesting. I mean, it's crazy how, from one video to another article, we were looking forward to something, and then now they're like, it's not there.
Yeah, and this one's the 21st, so it's a few days ago as well from when this article came out.
Let me see when does this say right here? Description, July. Okay. All right. So we're updating that video basically. I'm really just gonna go off of how he's going about it and do it our way. Obviously, we're not gonna copy what he's doing, but want to update what he said and bring it in, into our shorts, because that, and really figure out how to present it. These are all things that I'm learning as somewhat of a filmmaker, I guess, video creator, whatever. It's like
being a presenter, being, whatever you want to call it. It's a different thing, I guess. I know it is, than, being in front of the camera and just, reciting your lines, giving a dramatic performance or a comedic performance. It's a little different.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I don't care about being like a regular host that everyone's used to. I'm just kind of going over, how we're talking and brainstorming about things like in a normal way, and then reading off of these things. And our shorts kind of resemble that too. So understanding still how the, audience retention works and how we can do to better cater to them, because don't want to be boring as fuck. But it's not even about being boring. It's really about delivering good, valuable information that people can use. So now in the GTA 6 world, I'm really just getting baffled with all the amount of information that's coming out, and they're saying leak. Who's leaking these things? And how does it keep updating itself with the, I'm very concerned and also very intrigued by, because it's a strategy, I think.
Yeah, one leak is one thing, but multiples that correct previous leaks or talk about, updates or, punitive measures like removing the extreme weather. It sounds like it's just more the company's actually letting them fly to get attention, to build interest in the game. So, and maybe the extreme weather wasn't ready for this particular one. So instead of, putting it out when the game comes out, they're taking it out now because it wasn't working right.
Or it could just, they could just be playing with everybody that, suddenly they're like, it's not going to be there. And then when you open the game, it's there, and you see a hurricane coming.
Yeah, exactly. A big surprise issue. That would actually be kind of fun.
But at the same time, it's a big risk. There's so many different layers here. I'm so interested, and none of these are, potentially you can say there are some leaks like they're doing in Star Wars, like new series, or, some new characters doing something. And, now we found out ahead of time for spoiler, these are just different to me. These are all like really interesting technical aspects that your character's supposed to be going through, or you're supposed to be going through in this world. So it's just a different kind of strategy. If a movie leaks or a series leaks, it's just so different. What do you think? I don't know.
Oh, no, I agree very much so. Leaking bits and pieces of films or TV series or something like that, that actually can be detrimental to the film. So because if you, basically it's, think about something like Basic Instinct. If you leaked the pertinent details of the ending of the film, that would pretty much screw up the whole film for people, and you'd lost a lot of people showing up. If that was your goal, then great. But that's not so, I wouldn't expect that's something a sane company would do. Definitely a disgruntled employee, but.
Yeah, and I'm talking out of experience, because when I've delivered, and I don't want to be dropping names here or whatever, I'm just an experience trying to communicate, because I don't give a shit about the name dropping. When I did delivering to Lionsgate, they had signed multiple types of agreements, NDA and whatnot, and specified in the other agreements that you cannot, for any reason, if we know that any part of this movie has been leaked or talked about, discussed, you can't go to your family members technically and say that I just sold a movie to Lionsgate. They don't want you to do that. So it's like a really small budget movie. It's not even the kind of movie that they even cared about. They just, it's not a good movie that we worked on. It's just whatever, kind of horror, funny, whatever. They, on that level, they're like, don't say anything or we will not release your movie.
Yeah. I mean, they're covering their bases because they want to do something with it. They're going to get their cut of the pay. However, if you screw that up by leaking it in part or leaking it in whole and causing a potential, what do you want to call them, customer base or, viewer base or whatever to not show up or not buy the film or whatever, it's going to cost money and they want you to make as much as possible.
That's the exact, yeah, that's the whole thing. So the leaking here is really interesting to me. Some of this leakage is not detrimental. No, can't say that word.
No.
It's not going to affect the game. It actually helps with it. To me, it's like I'm now intrigued. If I knew there was going to be a hurricane in a movie, why do I fucking care?
I mean, I'm more than happy to piss off the viewers and say I had no interest in GTA until I heard about the extreme weather. Now I want them to put it in so I can take a look at the game. So I mean, it actually would gain them a player, so I can be, mess with that, see what they do with it, see how they do it.
I mean, I could say the same thing. I actually want to open up my Steam here so I can show that. I bought GTA 5, I don't know how long ago. It's been over a month at least. And it was on sale, so I bought it. I haven't played it. Not that I don't want to, but it's like it's not even, I haven't even opened. It doesn't say the hours, or I haven't even clicked play on it. I've been updating it. That's about it. It's just been sitting there because, and I don't want to, I'm not, everyone has their own opinions, obviously, and they like certain things. I've played the Grand Theft Auto 4. I completed it. It was fun. I don't think I even gotten close to the experience I had with Red Dead, and I don't think Red Dead is just about the graphics to me. It's the design, it's the cinematic aspects of it, the storytelling, and all the cinematic aspects of it in all areas. Technically, the graphics are great, but I'm not playing online. I don't care about these like Thanksgiving, bonus crap. I don't go into online anymore. I played it for a little bit and then I'm done. And I agree with most people how online sucks. But
that's the general consensus. But I heard that GTA Online sucks too. So it seems like at least Rockstar is consistent that their online versions are crap.
Yeah, and now my main point from all that is I do look forward to some of the graphic elements and see how all that plays out, and how cool it could be to see all those in a game or immersive story technically, and create my own world. But how does the story compare to Red Dead? How immersive is that comparatively? Is it going to be better? I don't know. And I haven't played GTA 5 yet because no one's talking about the story on GTA 5. It's just about how crazy it is.
Maybe there is no story. Maybe it is just, I don't know, the purge.
So yeah, so it's just interesting how the story has. Let me go. I mean, I pull up real quick. Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, I read ahead, and it's like basically it sounds like it was. I was right with what they said. It says Rockstar Universe has reported that Rockstar Games has scrapped the groundbreaking feature of the extreme weather due to tech limitations. So apparently it wasn't quite ready to go out. Extreme weather dynamics won't be a part of it. I've heard they wanted hurricanes and tornadoes. As to why they were cutting it, I don't know. It says it could be tech limitations. So maybe it's just somebody who leaked it is guessing. But
I mean, when it comes to marketing strategy, that's just so risky. If that's a strategy, if that's a straight up leak, who the fuck would leak such a thing? And then they go change it because the tech limitation is not impressive. Nobody cares about tech limitation. Like, you have a limitation? I don't care. Yeah. Why would I care? I'm as an audience, I'm not me. I'm just,
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if depending on what that limitation is, does it crash the game? Okay, well that's something you don't want to put in. But is it just not graphically perfect? Well, I doubt the players are going to care about that. Some will. There'll be some bitching online about that, but there's people that bitch online about everything. So
yeah, and I wanted to go over like these. I don't see thumbnails like this for GTA. This thumbnail over here is a very common thumbnail. I'm not seeing it as much here right now, but usually I guess we can put ending. Let's see what other. Okay, there we go. So I mean, the first three that are got some views here. 950, 345, and this is the main one. I am broken beyond repair. A game does that to you. No, there's no game on the planet that will do what is happening to these fine gamer ladies.
Yeah, well, it's got Red Dead's got some outstanding content in it.
And not to stand here and be like a macho man, that I didn't cry. I teared up. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, especially when something happened to the horsey. If you haven't played this game, I'm not gonna say what that is, but it's like, it really, like, and especially on the first playthrough, I spent so much time on my horse and figuring out, like, and I love my horse, and got built up the horse, and the more you cater to the horse and everything else, even when you pass the 4th level, the more you take care of it and all that kind of stuff, the longer you can go away from your horse. And then when you whistle, it will hear you and come back. So I kept doing, I was like, oh, this is so cool. It still hears me all the way down there. And, all these things are like, it's like your pets. And then it turns into like your family kind of thing, and a horse is part of your family. And then when you go through, this ending, obviously, look at this. It's like a one after another thing that happens. And it just, obviously, this is known as Red Dead Depression, but it's not one of those depression, kind of movies like, what was that movie called? Requiem for a Dream, where you watch it and you can't watch it again because you're like, dude, I can't, that's just too much, This is at a level where, like, I gotta go through that again, even though it depressed the shit out of me. I want to understand it a little bit more, and this time I'm gonna have few horses, so I'm just gonna do one, and I'll have less, I'll have a smoother ending. But look at this, man. I don't see any kind of, look at this girl's like, thank you, Arthur. Crying over here. Where is a DA thumbnail of people crying like this? Look at that. I can't stop crying. I'm not making fun, by the way.
Well, they didn't either. There's no tie-in in it that creates an emotional attachment to, your characters, to your horse, so.
And there's another thing to it too, is that it's not a Western. You can advertise it as a Western, and it's, that's why I have a different kind of I have a Red Dead little poster back there, but it's not a regular Red Dead poster. It's a very different one, and it's a hat, his hat, and then him inside himself in the story. It's a really deep story that happens to be a Western. It's a human story that happens to be a Western setting. It literally take away the guns and put swords and make them all Japanese, or make them all Chinese, with different kind of ethnicities within the Asian, community, technically speaking, like Mongolian or Thailand, whatever. So all just, they're all like, similarly here, just a different kind of like, treatments with like natives and all that kind of stuff, and whites, blacks, whatever. It's funny, there are 2 characters in the Red Dead. The black guy his last name is White. The white guy's last name is Black, and they keep calling each other white, black. It's so funny. Whitey, Blackie, actually. So,
oh goodness,
it's all a human story. That's why I'm wondering if this GTA has figured that concept out, or is Red Dead just a happy accident by going through as many different Westerns and studying Westerns and replicating them, which is pretty much what's going on here. The core of it is a story that's been told a gazillion times, gazillion times.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I'm very curious to see, if GTA can pull the story, or if this is just another cool graphics thing, which is fun. I'm not dissing that in any. I like to see it, I like to play it, and I'm figuring it out. But one thing we want to focus on consistently and more is the stories that are in the games, the characters.
Yeah, and on that note, that is one of the leaks, is that GTA 6 is reported to feature 2 playable protagonists, Jason and Lucia, who have a Bonnie and Clyde style relationship. However, Rockstar Universe has reported that an inside source revealed to them that Lucia, GTA's first ever female character, might have a child, suggesting the presence of 3 characters. This report also claims that the child might be featured in the storyline's cutscenes. and will have an impact on the game's plot. It could be similar to how Jack Marston appears in another Rockstar series, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. However, it isn't known if the child will be playable at some point in the game or not.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I just like, well, that's, I mean, first they have characters you're going to play, and then, now there's the potential that there's going to be a kid. So that could be very interesting, especially if it grows and then you can, play it.
Then, yeah, the attachment, see, that's really where it's at. Yeah, understanding where to apply these kind of elements. That attention is one thing, retention is another. That takes the retention level to a whole different scale, and that's why people like me or other gamers would spend 1,000 hours on Red Dead, something like that. And there is a kid in Red Dead that ends up growing, and we know who that kid is, and we know where that kid ends up, and it's really interesting to see that kid grow right in front of us with the different things he goes through and little moments that the kid runs into. Really interesting. Because then that kid grows to be older. Jack Marston ends up shooting. This has been out a long time. Ends up shooting the Edgar Ross character, which is a Pinkerton detective agency agent. So it's really interesting to see a kid to grow old and be that final, the guy that's going to wrap it all together and put closure to things. Well, I mean, the story continues, but it's a closure to the Pinkerton tale and how it was related to his father, and then the father is John Marston, and then John was a big, a part of Arthur Morgan's life, and Arthur is larger than life character, so all of these are connected together really interestingly. If you bring in a kid like that, and then he grows at, I don't know, maybe you play the game for 5 years, and then now the kid is like 20, 25 years old, and that's like my kid, but it's digital,
Yeah, again, adding elements of The Sims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with very, very strong storytelling, with Sims, and relatability. I think the more these graphics get more real, and we can easily lose ourselves in there. Because, you mentally make a distinction between something that's like got squares as a character. Obviously, that's just, I'm not going to get as emotionally involved as I would something that's, I think that's my opinion. It's something to really look into and see. But I think based off of Red Dead also, people love to build their own characters that looks more like them, or, it just looks real.
Yeah.
You can feel
absolutely.
It breathing,
Yeah, it'll be, I don't know in GTA whether or not they give you that option, but if they don't already and they add it into this game, I think that'll make it a huge new part of it.
Well, let's go from here. In the world of Grand Theft Auto. Oh, lost your audio.
That's a different article. That's one from the day before. We can peruse it and see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, Colossal leaked GTA 6 map may set a new record. That's a good one. Because that's the one thing he was also talking about the map.
Yeah, it's twice the size of GTA 5. Okay. Yep. We can get into that one. So, yeah, then the next thing is that GTA 6 is getting a colossal new world. Leaked information suggests the map is twice the size of GTA 5, promising an epic gaming experience. In the world of Grand Theft Auto, anticipation of the upcoming GTA 6 game has reached fever pitch, with enthusiasts eagerly dissecting every bit of information available online. Currently, the buzz centers around the game's colossal map, which, according to leaks, dwarfs even the expansive landscape of its predecessor, GTA 5. As Rockstar Game gears up to unveil the first glimpse of GTA 6, the excitement among fans is palpable. One of the most intriguing aspects of GTA 6 lies in the sheer scale of its map, a topic that has captivated fans for months. Given that GTA 5's...
Sorry, let's do that one more time. You're cutting in and out. And this is something to turn into, so we want to...
Okay, so let me get a drink here. In that case, we're going to just say, get ready for GTA's colossal world. Leaked info suggests a map twice the size of GTA 5, promising an epic gaming experience. In the world of Grand Theft Auto, anticipation of the upcoming GTA 6 game has reached a fever pitch, with enthusiasts eagerly dissecting every bit of information available online. Currently, the buzz centers around the game's Colossal Map, which, according to leaks, dwarfs even the expansive landscape of its predecessor, GTA 5. As Rockstar Games gears up to unveil the first glimpse of GTA 6, the excitement among fans is palatable. One of the most intriguing aspects of GTA 6 lies in the sheer scale of its map, a topic that has captivated fans for months.
Given that GTA 5's map set a high standard, fans and theorists have delved into meticulous studies shared on Reddit forums. These efforts aim to decipher the specific dimensions of GTA 6's map based on leaks and snippets gleaned from various sources.
The next installment of the series is designed for Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and high-end PCs, fueling expectations that GTA 6 will stand as one of the most advanced open-world games to date. Also ranking among the most expensive productions in the gaming industry, according to a Game Bible report.
At the heart of discussions is the expansive world that GTA 6 promises to offer. GTA 5 first introduced players to the sprawling landscapes of Los Santos and Blaine County, providing a canvas for exploring and unfolding narratives. Fans are now anticipating even greater depth and complexity in GTA 6, fueled by recent gameplay leaks and glimpses of the gameplay's purported map. A notable Twitter user, Jason from GTA 6 2, shared a comparative image overlaying the GTA 5 map onto the speculated GTA 6 map created by fans. So, I'm just going to stop here real quick. This is really interesting. How are people speculating? And what is the speculation off of?
I mean, it says it's off leaked gameplay, meticulous observation of in-game coordinates, and that's how they're getting their estimates. How much leaked gameplay is there out there, I guess, at this point, for them to be able to create an entire map around it?
That would
be my guess. I mean, if they're able to see the in-game coordinates and, there's so much leaked gameplay that, it gives them all that information. That's just crazy.
That's insane.
Almost sounds like they released the whole damn thing.
Going through, I know they have so many testers, and the fact that it doesn't even matter if it's, because I've seen people testing, and I've seen like some of the stuff that they're testing. It doesn't even necessarily have to do anything with the world. They're just testing certain aspects of the game, and Rockstar keeps changing the world to test the animation, to test certain other aspects, all that. So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the map actually being there. So if somebody's playing on a test, like for instance in the Red Dead Redemption, they had set up a maze for the horse to go through something.
The reason they're doing this is they're trying to test the lateral movement of the horse itself, seeing if they can make the animation as smooth as possible.
So as you can see, according to Mr. Boss here, and there's a lot of these gamers that get access to, this is, I guess, Red Dead, or not Red Dead, Rockstar doing a presentation somewhere. I don't know where this is. It's probably in the descriptions, or he mentions it in the video somewhere, but they're basically showing how they created the animation for the horse. So it's going through a maze. This maze has nothing to do with the actual world. And then when stuff like this, if stuff like this is leaking, we still don't understand how they could really even compare the map. And if potentially the map could just be a fake map just for them to be testing. It's like, hey, we got to go here, we got to go here, we got to test this. And the map could be 3 times more the size. Who knows? But this is
exactly. Yeah, it's a big speculation if this is, alpha testing or even beta testing, gameplay. So a lot of things can, as you heard, can be removed or added to, to a final version coming out.
Yeah, if anyone's watching this and knows what's going on, please leave a comment and, say, hey, Naveed, don't be stupid. This is how it goes. I'd love to know.
Yes.
I'd love to know.
Exactly. Yes. Let us know.
So yeah, they're basically put the, comparison of the maps together, reading a little bit more here. What adds to the excitement is that these calculations exclude the unrevealed north sections of GTA 6's map, hinting at even more expansive and uncharted territories awaiting players upon the game's release. That's what I was saying. While the exact release date for GTA 6 remains shrouded in mystery, industry expectations point towards a launch window in 2024 or 2025, further heightening the anticipation for what is poised to be a groundbreaking addition to the Grand Theft Auto legacy. But on that note, we're going to end it here with this article. Really interesting. This just came out, high tech, and I just literally searched it. I didn't even know this was out till this morning. And obviously was going off of our friend here and the, updates that he had since July 31st. So we're just kind of updating what he was touching base off of. And that's GTA 6. We are all waiting.
Yep, it sounds like it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what makes it in the final edit and what's out there for it.
So one other thing, actually, I'm going to end on this note at the end of this show. Okay, I'm going to go over how AI is being utilized in GTA 6 and something to look up as well, kind of get into. I guess we only have 10, 20. This is the end of the show, technically. So let's just go into it. Fuck it.
Drop in.
Let's go. So before I show this, I wanted to show this thing. This is really interesting. Deepfake for Heath Ledger's Joker without the Joker makeup.
I thought my jokes were bad. How about a magic trick? You ought to know, you boy. These cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened? Your balls drop off? You see, a guy like me, look, listen, I know why you choose to have your little group therapy sessions in broad daylight. The Batman.
I wish I could say that's funny. I wish I could say that it looks like really good and it's like unnoticeable, but it's not. It's very noticeable to me. The eyebrows don't move. I mean, this is probably somebody just did it on a whim and wasn't really, completely rendered as it's supposed to. It was really quick. For it being quick, it's not bad. It's actually quite freaky. But with this turns into, once it's complete, you will not be able to tell that,
Yeah, they'll be able to just, put his face on there, just completely remove the makeup, eventually change the green hair. I mean, it kind of looks blonde in the other one, but honestly, it's still green. It's still the Joker's hair, so.
Yeah, and his face keeps flickering back to the makeup here and there. Like I can see the little flickers sometimes, and it's not. And because of his eyebrows being stuck because it's black in the other one, I guess it doesn't really understand where the eyebrows are. If you look at the left one, the eyebrows move way more than they do on the right one.
Television. So-called. But you'll find him.
And it really,
and it's fuzzy around the edge.
Yeah, so it's this is crazy. Obviously, it's one of those things where I just wanted to touch base off of our last convo or the previous convo, AI and what's going on in Hollywood and taking AI into the next step in GTA, which is what I was going to talk about here in a second. But this is, the more this is getting developed, the more, and it's going off of what South Park's been saying, actors, there are very few actors that are real actors. I think we all can act. If you're put in the right place, there's different layers of talent, but there are very few Marlon Brandos on this planet. And, there are very few that don't just react. They are creators of characters. They're so good at it, and
yeah, love him or hate him, Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr.,
Heath Ledger, and he didn't get to keep going, but he had a lot of interesting characters that he created just based off of the way he was walking, his movements, his tone of voice, his accent. He was very good at creating the character from scratch, and that's going to be where you are going to differentiate yourself as an actor into anything. Because your face is one thing, you can get popular. I'll go grab like Kim Kardashian's face and slap it onto like somebody who knows how to actually act. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't know how to fucking act. She's an actress in a different realm. Wonderful person. Fucking whatever. She cannot really act. Okay. And if I go grab somebody like Meryl Streep, Meryl Streep. I keep
Streep.
fucking Meryl Streep. If I go grab, somebody like her who understands, moments and how to really, take the character to a different layer and all that, and I slap Kim Kardashian's face onto her, that's where I think a lot of interesting creativities could come out too. And maybe it could be a collaboration somehow. Now Kim Kardashian couldn't do anything like that. If I go grab, I don't know, I'm just going off a weird tangent, but this is something to take advantage of instead of freaking out. And everyone's freaking out about, oh, I gotta take my identity and do this and do that. Like, okay, up your game.
Yep.
Figure out how to use the tool and make it work so that not only fear is not a part of it anymore, but it's actually like now you actually created something different. And that's where the games come in my opinion. If I were to grab Arthur's face, right, and I slap it onto Heath Ledger here, and he plays Arthur Morgan, obviously I don't know if that would have worked, but I'm just, saying that. Now I can relate to that character. I didn't have to go cast somebody, that looks like him, make up him, do this and do that. Now now I have Arthur in the most realistic way possible with an actor behind it,
Yeah, with a very strong actor behind it. I mean, that does honestly, that idea of taking somebody that may not fit into one role because, say, it's a 50-year-old actress, which isn't too old to me in some cases to be in certain roles, but she definitely shouldn't be playing a teenager. But she can give the performance. You put her into it, or same with the guy. You can do that.
Yeah, and I don't.
mean, you should find talented people to do it, but you can definitely, if you're going to, be current Hollywood, where it's got to be a name to sell. That's all you look at. Then you have that option.
Yeah, and I'm not really saying to that basically like go get another actor to play Arthur Morgan. I would rather Roger Clark play Arthur Morgan and just keep going with that. But then when I bring that into film versus when we have it in motion capture, I don't need to spin 360 unless it's a VR movie now. And that's a whole different thing. But if I'm in a regular movie that we're watching, let's say, and then we're just trying to see what happens next before the Red Dead 3 comes out, they can create a miniseries or a movie or whatever in between those games, slap the face on him, everybody, and all the actors, performance capture actors, and make that movie, man. We don't need to go cast, I don't need to go. They're all doing a great job in my opinion, and same thing with the other, it's like Star Wars games. This is something I would like to get corrected on. I need to study it myself, but where do the stories collide in games and the series? Are they all the same? Are we just replaying the same, areas that we already know? Or are the games pushing the story forward so that we go watch it in the series, we come back in the games, and it's all related, and it's all pushing each other forward? I don't think that's happening. I think it's just repeating some similar stories, and it's just different platforms, and they're not really connecting the dots to make it as I want them to look. I want them to look exactly the same. I want to be in the same world. Yep. I don't want to go into a different Star Wars world that I just saw in this series.
I agree. I mean, I had a discussion last night about Disney and all their changes that they're doing, to Snow White of all damn things. So, and it's like, and Walt Disney's spinning in his grave right now because, they're doing all kinds of crazy ass stuff to, a classic, to whatever they're doing, make it woke, make it whatever, instead of creating a new story, which is probably what Walt would have done. He wouldn't have been above pandering to the public for whatever they wanted, but he would have created new stories, not rehash the old ones.
Yeah, that would be so much more interesting in the game. If I, for instance, am playing Star Wars, let's just example this part. We watched episode 4, 5, and 6, originally, and then came out with 1, 2, and 3. So if I were to see 1, and then 1 was going to take me, 1 was a trailer to go into the game version of 2 and 3, and then that leads into 4. The game is
Yes.
2, 3, and 4, beginning right when we're going into 4, and then we actually see a little bit more linear version of how 3 goes into 4, and it's becomes very relatable there. Now that's where we kind of left off, and we saw the story continue. Now we come back at 7, right? Make a trailer,
Yeah.
and then we go into 8. The whole episode 7 is a trailer for the game, and then we go into 8, 9, and 10 for the game, right? That's that's all I'm talking about. It's not really rocket science, and I don't know if this is really a thing that's supposed to work or not work, because it's not being done,
No, I guess George Lucas honestly was the closest to doing anything like that with his movies, because he re-edited, the first 3 Star Wars, and in your example, to add in the actors who played the characters. He did it, when he re-edited Return of the Jedi, he added Anakin, Hayden Christian as Anakin Skywalker at the end of it, instead of the actor they had hired in 1980s to play Anakin Skywalker. And they did the same thing in, instead of they hired actors, but they overlaid the faces of the original actors in, Rogue One. So you had the same basic appearance of Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia as in 1977.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he had that, and the one thing unfortunately about him is that I don't think he had the right tools still to like create those worlds as good as that he should have or could have, because going from what he had originally, which was because of not having those technical capabilities, everything had to be so close, and it was a lot more relatable. And as soon as you create those CGI stuff, you're just going into wide shots a lot of wide, just to show the environment. So you're moving away again now from your characters. I don't care. Move close. Give all that. Keep the background still blurry. You know what I mean? All of that technically happened again when J.J. Abrams came in, and then he's like, okay, I want to grab the background. It's going to be amazing, but it's back focus again with a lot of practical effects, practical sets, and just, getting it into that 70s look again. So he brought it back a little bit more, in my opinion, even though it was a little crazy, to that Star Wars that I think was a little bit more relatable. So I thought he did a good job in general.
Yeah, it was all practical. Then it made a huge difference in the way it looked. I mean, I can't claim that those last 3 were decent story-wise, but then again, a lot of people say that about anything George Lucas wrote too. So it's hit or miss.
I don't think George Lucas is a very good dialogue writer. He's not.
Oh, hell no. He knows that.
He just
All
doesn't
know that.
He doesn't understand how, Harrison Ford comes up to him in Star Wars and he's like, how do I read this line? And George is like, you're the actor. That's the worst, advice you can give as a director to your actor. It's not even what a director does, but he's focused on other areas, and he did other things that elevated the characters, and it then made sense, regardless of what they were saying.
Well, yeah, I get that. But I mean, as the writer, he wrote it, at least the first one, but you have an idea in your head what it's supposed to sound like, even if the actor doesn't go with it,
Well, to
when
me,
he asks you a question like that, you should have an answer for him, not just say, well, you're the actor.
That's the dumbest thing. And also, that's why I'm like, really, I don't understand where George Lucas was coming from with all these, being an artist and all that. I get, but you have to be, as a director, you have to be somewhat of a shrink. You have to be somewhat of a psychologist. If you don't understand human psyche and understand how to communicate and put people in the right moment, in the right, mindset, so that they can actually react accordingly. That's what you need them to do. React accordingly to the moment. That's what you're trying to capture. If you don't know how to communicate that, then that's obviously not that's not a director to me. And George Lucas had a very amazing idea combined with some very deep storytelling structure from thousands of years, ago. This is old storytelling. That one part he listened, he implemented it way better than some other people did. And because of the new world and the new way he presented that story, it just worked so well. Now, I don't want to get into all that, how Star Wars is built and all, but just getting into the game set of it. The reason he messed up 4, 5, or 1, 2, and 3 again is just we are not focusing on characters. We're focusing on the worlds, how to lose ourselves there, and then the characters are gone again. So we need to get back into where we were in the 70s and 80s, 90s a little bit. Rebuild those characters into the most immersive world possible, and do not focus on the worlds. Like, just get back into those close-up shots, man. You know how many of those close-up shots are in this game, like Red Dead Redemption? It's insane.
A fair few.
As soon as it goes into cutscenes, it does the same thing. It's a little wide, gets everybody in, and it goes close. A couple of things it doesn't do, and I would have thrown in there, are push-ins. If it would have done a few push-ins in certain moments, oh my God, it would have blown your mind away. And then also, while we're horseback riding, if the cinematic camera would give us the option to see them from front, because there's so many dialogues that they have that they're on the horseback riding. I don't see their faces. I don't connect as much as I should while they're going through some very important fucking dialogue moments. I'm like, what?
Hey, that's one thing I didn't know, because obviously I haven't played the game yet, but I'm surprised they didn't have a 360-degree view on the horse.
No, it does. You have to do it manually, and then also the cinematic view. And when you do it manually, the camera wants to go back to the back of the players automatically. You have to hold it, and you have to control it in a way so, like, you have to focus on the road, and you have to focus on the camera being turned around. Then you're losing sight of who's talking. You cannot even pay attention at that point. The cinematic camera does these little, cuts that it goes like wide to close and all that, which is pretty good. But it should give me an option of like, just stick to the character cinematic, and then it just pans like in front, and it goes around and it comes back or something, or just you have the option to stick it in front without paying attention to where I'm going with the horses, so I can see their faces and how they're reacting to each other's, They do that in cutscenes a few times. Then I'm like, there's the shot. That's the shot I'm talking about, which is the classic Western shot of they're riding on the horse like this, and then you see the shot right here. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, we're going to go get them. Yeah, So it's like, I don't have that shot as much as I want to. So many tangents.
Yeah. Well, we get lost sometimes.
Going. By the way, we have to go live sometimes, so we don't have, we have to read or anything. We just sit down and chat.
I'm down.
And we have to go live after our 10th episode, So we have to just find a day and then do this, record it, and be live. So we're doing it two at the same time. It's not like two different, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. We can do it. We'll have to pick the time that's going to work best for going live, and I'm sure you'll know what that is, and we'll set it up and do it.
Yeah, once we get another subscriber. Once we get a little bit more analytics, and then I add another app in here that tells me when is best to go live and all that. And we'll have to hit the 10th episode. So this is the 4th one now. We've got 6 more to go.
Okay.
And then we'll start going live.
We'll get that sorted out and go live.
All right. So on our last note here, I wanted to watch this, and then we can talk about this, and we'll wrap it up. This will be self-explanatory. It's about 10 minutes. So we're not going to watch the whole thing, but let's go.
Is one of the most common hobbies of GTA 5 players. But these are simply NPCs. What if you could do the same to conscious NPCs created randomly by generative AI?
I am just blown away by this. We've got a living, breathing city we can talk to. Let's try maybe some niceness. Wow, you look absolutely fantastic today.
I'm good. Thanks.
You from around here?
Why do you want to know? Mind your own business.
Good.
Just real quick, I think this is actually from Starship, what that game was. I think it's from that. I think this is the ability that you have in that game. They did say that there's a lot of dialogue you can have with random people and the cities and all that. And this city looks a little bit more, sci-fi-esque-ish. I'm not sure if this is from that game or not. It doesn't say anywhere. But they're basically saying the same thing about GTA 6 and something we discussed before on our previous episodes, and the AI one, I think, that we can just walk up to an NPC, connect it to our mics, talk to the NPC, and it will reply back to us. Respond. Basically, it's and not just respond. It's not just like giving you the words back. It will start to learn about you and what you're about. Now, I don't know if this happens in Starfield or not, but
still, it's interesting because, you know, it started, you know, you talk to the NPC and it's like, you know, why do you want to know that? So instantly it's already, you know, not in this, but that's this particular one. The other ones may be more accommodating and chatty. So I think it'll vary, but it's, you know, interesting.
Goodness gracious, can I find somebody nice in this town?
Video games have come a long way, evolving from pixelated adventures to immersive virtual worlds. AI, of course, has been a major parallel force in this evolution. The highly anticipated GTA 6 is going to take gaming to new heights with the introduction of AI-generated NPC, adding an extra layer of realism and unpredictability to the gaming experience. Non-player characters, or NPCs, have long been a staple in video games, serving as the virtual inhabitants of the game world. In GTA 5 and RDR2, players have become accustomed to interacting with pre-programmed NPCs, each following a set pattern of behavior. However, Rockstar Games, the developer behind the GTA series, is gearing up to revolutionize the gaming landscape. Imagine a game where every pedestrian, every driver, and every bystander has a unique personality, driven not by predetermined algorithms, but by artificial intelligence. The concept of AI-generated NPCs is rooted in the advancements of machine learning. Instead of relying on scripted behaviors, these virtual inhabitants will learn and adapt to the player's actions. The implications of this innovation are far-reaching, promising to blur the lines between virtual and real. One of the key advantages of AI-generated NPCs is the potential for a more immersive and responsive gaming experience. In GTA 6, players can expect NPCs to react realistically to their actions, learning from their behavior and adapting accordingly. If you choose a life of crime, NPCs may become more cautious or fearful, altering their responses to your presence. And if you play the role of a law-abiding citizen, NPCs might treat you with respect or indifference. The dynamic nature of AI-generated NPCs opens up endless possibilities for emergent gameplay. No longer confined to scripted scenarios, players will find themselves in situations that are truly unpredictable. Let's explore the main components of AI-generated non-player characters. Realistic conversations. You can ask an AI-generated NPC a question using a microphone, and it responds not only contextually, but also with a range of emotions and tones, making interactions feel incredibly lifelike. Family and relationships. These NPCs have simulated family ties and relationships, meaning they can discuss family matters, personal issues, or even engage in heart-to-heart conversations about their lives beyond the game's immediate action.
Oh my god. Did I do that again? My mic was muted. So I know it's not going in the recording, which is unfortunate. So, damn it.
Hopefully it wasn't on the whole time.
No, it's just the last bit of it. Anyway, I don't know where I lost you guys with my audio. Just figuring this out. I'm not going to go back and reiterate what I just did. Unfortunately, that's lost cause. It is what it is. Just want to say thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate you watching this whole video. I'm glad at least I caught this part of it to put on the audio. I had to record it separately. And if you found any good info from this and you like it, please subscribe. Turn on that notification so next time we do release videos, you'll get notified. And I can't say thank you enough for subscribing and being here with us. So if you can, please let us know in the comments any suggestions, any topics you'd like us to cover. I would like to cater to what you like to see. And until next time.
See you later.